Your chariot awaits. It should already be in neutral. There's no steering wheel lock, so you don't have to mess with the key. Okay?
I'm just steering?
Yep. If you get in trouble, just give me the Team America secret signal. Good luck. Alright, thanks for your help. She's a beach.
I'm gonna go cook dinner.
Alright. Alright, folks. What we need is a project. Something we can really sink our teeth into. Check out this sweetheart of a pickup. It's a 1981, I think, Chevy 10. I guess that's a C10. I'll be honest, I don't really know. I'll have to text Mortsky. Mr. Square Body, he'll tell me. I'm sure there's some way you can count the number of squares in the grill or something, find out if it's an 81 or an 81 and a half. Anyway, this guy's been sitting for 11 years. It's a local truck, originally sold by Sightner Chevy in Mount Carroll, Illinois. That's not far from here. She's got some patina. Some folks might call that rust, but believe it or not, this thing is a survivor. Look at the inside of the bed. The floor is perfect. There's not a single dent anywhere. Even the tailgate, it's got some of the paint rubbed off of it, but there's not a single dent on that tailgate. It's unbelievable. Now she's got a wheel that's locked up on the left side here. I don't know if it broke loose or not. Didn't sound like it. I tried to push it, but I forgot that the bumper here, that's just for show. Yeah, the interior is pretty clean, really. Plastic's kind of falling apart. But overall, it's pretty well unmolested. Oh, how do you pop the hood? There it is. Odometer says 73733. And I'd say based on the condition of the pedals and the rest of the interior, that's probably 73,000, not 173,000. She's pretty basic. Looks like AM only on the radio. No tack, no fancy gauges. Actually, it doesn't even have any gauges. Those are all just idiot lights. It's got 2 gauges. So under the hood, Chevy 305 small block V8. Pretty sure it's got a carburetor on it. I was told that it will run on ether. It's probably because it has the electronic spark control. So that should be an HEI distributor. No points. Those are pretty reliable. Yeah, very basic. No air conditioning, no nothing like that. Looks pretty good. Had a look underneath. The frame's pretty solid. Might need spark plug wires. We'll get into that. It's got a new battery. That's good. Man, look at all the space under here. Amazing. I don't see a whole lot of signs of rodents. So that's good. Anyway, I think the plan for this guy, we're going to try to get the engine running off of a portable tank. He told me that the left side fuel tank leaks and the right side fuel tank holds fuel, but it won't go from the fuel tank to the carburetor. So we got a bad fuel line, or maybe the fuel tank's just sludged up in the bottom, I don't know. Anyway, we're going to see if we can get the engine running, and then if all systems are go, we're going to try to get this back on the road. So it's going to need all the usual stuff: tires, brakes, I'm sure brake lines and fuel lines. Whatever else it needs, we're going to have to reattach that bumper some way. Yeah, get her roadworthy. All right, let's see what we're dealing with here. Should be a quadra junk, but you never know. There we go. Well, I wonder what all that green goo is all over everything. Don't know. All right, we got some walnuts here. So the critters have been around, but overall, she's pretty well unmolested. We're going to have vacuum leaks like crazy, so we might as well just plan on capping all that stuff off. There's no way we're going to be able to save it. So that's a thermostatically controlled, some kind of vacuum valve there. Just various emission stuff. So I see that the vacuum advance on the distributor, we're missing the line for that. Is that it? There it is right there. We'll have to figure out what cylinder that goes to. Well, I'm thinking the easiest thing to do would be to tie right into the fuel pump. So it's a 3-line fuel pump. The big one should be the inlet. This one should be the return. And the steel line goes up to the carburetor. We'll just attach some 3/8 fuel line to it, run that out to a jerry can, and then we'll be able to test whether the fuel pump works, the carburetor works, all that jazz. So we don't want to do a whole bunch of work, you know, reviving the fuel system and all that, only to find out that it's got a rod knocking or something. So how do we get that off there? There you go. I think I got sick over the Thanksgiving holiday. Dang kids. They're like walking biological weapons. There we go. That should work. Now we got to find some gas. Might be easier said than done. I'll use my band gas can. highly coveted. I just popped the fuel line loose. I'm gonna hook up a vacuum pump. We're gonna try to prime the fuel pump. All right. Yeah, we need more horsepower. There we go. Okay. All right, we'll leave that cracked loose. Then we'll crank it and see if we're getting any pumping action out of the pump. No? Maybe? Well, it sounds like we don't have much battery, so I'm going to give it a little bit of help. I think this should be the bowl vent here. All right, let's try that. Yes, I did check the oil. It's fine. Oh, she wants to go. Yes, sir. Well, let's say our carburetor's not carbureting. Well, shoot. We're not pumping fuel for some reason. I don't know. Judging by the amount of fuel that's spilled all over inside the engine bay, I think it is pumping. I wonder if that filter is plugged. I think that's a filter screen, right? Oh, yeah. Nope. It looks perfect. Well, that's the filter on the inlet side of the carburetor. I think this check valve is stuck. There we go. So that'll do it. All right, let's try that again. They should bypass that check valve though, because there's a spring in there that holds the filter in place. So maybe barking up the wrong tree here. no way it's gonna idle. That's amazing. 11 years. It's got a few vacuum leaks. They've only got 7 cylinders too. Yeah, we had a few critters in the tailpipe. Awesome. All right, guys, that's awesome. Very awesome. Let me scrounge up a plug wire. We'll see if we can get it hitting on all 7 cylinders. And then, yeah, we'll decide what we want to do from there. Okay. I don't have one with the for real HEI boot, but I think it'll work. Maybe. Yeah, that'll work. Boy, those are stiff. All right, now that end should clip on too. Thing's even got the fancy looms. How do you get that open? Yeah, we'll break that later. All right, just clip right on there, like that, maybe. Yeah. Well, we're leaking coolant here out of the thermostat. Oh. That's because the upper radiator hose is loose. Let's see if we can tighten that real quick. Not with that tool. It's weird. Is that thing broken? Oh, yeah. There's your problem. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit long. Let me see if I've got a shorter one. That seems pretty long. That's more like it. This one even has a matching patina. All right. Well, we should have closer to 8 cylinders. Let's see what she does. Well, what happened? What's going on here? It's dead. Completely dead. Did I not get these plug wires back on right? What am I missing here? I don't get it. I can smell gas. Did I unplug the coil some way? Something? Well, let's check for spark, I guess.
The choke will open. Speaking of choke, I better open the door. Car's leaking fuel over here on this side. I think.
All right. It's getting pretty hot. Like real hot. Like start burning the walnuts off the top of it hot. All right, let me get the shop vac.
Not bad. Not bad at all. That's probably not good.
Well, I don't know. Could be the return line leaking We can try to pinch that off and see what happens. I think that fuel tank's got a hole in it too. What a sweetheart. Nope, same thing. All right. We're gonna have to fix that before we have a big old fire in here. Saw how bad the exhaust was leaking. All right, folks, phase 2. We need this thing to roll. Perfect. This is a very delicate and precise process. So the problem is the brake shoes are rusted to the inside of the drum. Let's get the air hammer. Oh man. That's a bummer. Well, that wasn't bad. Wasn't bad at all. We'll have to reattach our balancing weight, but that's not a big deal. Probably replace those drums anyway. Yeah. Just like she left the factory. All right, folks, got her up on the lift. And shockingly, it did not break the frame in half. So we're already doing better than the last old white Chevy I tried to pick up. Not surprising, we've got some problems. So that brake hose doesn't look too good. Pretty rusty. Looks like it was sitting down in the dirt maybe, or parked on grass. Either one will cause them to rust pretty bad like this. That's just the coolant, I think, that spilled out of that thermostat housing. Engine's actually pretty dry and clean. Exhaust isn't too bad until you get back to the converter / muffler area. So this is where we were getting our fuel leak. Not 100% sure where it was coming from. There's plenty of opportunities here. All the hoses are rotted. This one here that's not connected, I'm pretty sure that's an evap line. So I don't think it would be leaking from there. But if you follow the trail of tears here, it looks to me like it's probably just coming out of the sending unit on the top of the tank. I don't know if you can see up there. The lines are all rotted where it comes out of the top of the tank. So I don't know. I think he told me this side leaks. I'd say it probably needs 2 fuel tanks or just 1 fuel tank, and we'll eliminate this whole selector valve. There's a good chance it doesn't work anyway. The frame's pretty thin back here by the cross member between the 2 front spring mounts. That's where they always get. So that's where they always get rusty. See how thin it is. But it's not broken. It'll live a while longer. The muffler's shot. Tailpipe's not too bad. Now the shocks have seen better days. Oh yeah. Something tells me the rear brakes aren't working very well. Well, these like to rust out the spring hangers real bad, but this one seems pretty solid. And that's original, it's still got the rivets in it. Well, I think most of the rust on this truck is just from sitting around. It's not from driving in the salt. And then obviously the bumper is going to need some help. I don't know if we can make a new bracket. It looks pretty simple. We probably could. So yeah, really just needs the usual stuff. I would say probably a fuel tank, straps. I doubt the filler neck and the vent tube will survive, so probably going to go ahead and replace both of those. It's a little crusty in there. Yeah, and then we'll patch up the fuel lines. Somebody's already run a new brake line to the rear, so that might be okay. Or we may have to run a new line. Just kind of depends. I don't know about the transmission. I kind of hope it works. Looks like we might be leaking a little bit there at the proportioning valve, so we may need a new one of those. Otherwise, you know, for a 40-year-old truck in our climate, it's not bad. Not bad at all. Cab floors are perfect. I mean, they really are. All right, folks, we got our fuel cell / Molotov cocktail set up underneath the hood with a return line. So hopefully it won't puke fuel out of the lines on the frame rail there. There's a small chance we might have some brakes. The rear of the reservoir is still full. That's usually for the front brakes. Of course, we're not going to have any rear brakes with our brake hose delete. Oh man, that was a rookie move. Anyway, I want to see if she'll move under her own power. If the transmission's good, I mean, we're not going to drive it down the road probably, but if it shifts in the parking lot here, then I think we can go ahead and stick some money into it. Well, let's start. What a sweetheart. All right, do we have any brakes? Is the master cylinder locked up? Because I cannot push that pedal. Whoa, we got a misfire. What a shock, I know. All right, does forward work? Oh, look at that. Do we have any brakes? Oh yeah, we got all kinds of brakes. And now they're stuck on. Well, I think we're gonna have to fix a few vacuum leaks before she'll idle down. Max thinks it's very interesting, don't you, pup? Alright, let's see what happens here. Oh yeah. Say we're hitting on about 6 cylinders. Oh yeah. Just like driving off the dealer lot. Oh, brakes, do you work? Oh yeah. Tell you what, she's pretty much worthless with those bald tires and two-wheel drive. All right, we got a winner. There you go, folks. It runs, it drives, it kind of stops. Max isn't too impressed, but I am. She's a winner. We got to fix some vacuum leaks. The idle is ridiculous. Come on, puppy. It's no problem getting him in the truck. Getting him back out's another story. Come on, do it. There we go. All right. Got our fuel system decommissioned. That's it for now. It's gonna have to sit out here on death row until we get some parts. I'll bring you guys back when that happens. Well, folks, I'm gonna look stupid talking about this truck because I don't know crap about it. So we're gonna call the man, Mr. Mortsky. We're gonna make him look stupid. Oh boy. Hey, we need some help. Yes, sir. I don't know crap about Chevys, especially square bodies. So in an effort to not look stupid, we're gonna put you on the spot and see if you can help us out. Let me flip this camera around if I can ever figure out how to do that. There we go. All right, so first question. She's a Scottsdale, and she says 10. Is the Scottsdale a low or high level trim package?
I think Scottsdale is kind of it's the middle. The bottom end, I believe, was the custom deluxe.
Okay.
And then the high end was the Silverado, and Scottsdale kind of falls in the middle. Does it have carpet and roll-up windows?
She's pretty basic. AM only radio, vinyl seats, vinyl floor mat, no gauges.
No tilt.
No tilt. Yeah. Well, what happened?
We're going to try this again or what?
Yeah. Hey, fun fact about my phone. When it's 17 degrees outside, it just turns off. So that's fun. All right. Couple questions. The name tag on the truck just says 10. I assume that's a C10. Is that right?
C10, yep. C is two-wheel drive, K is four-wheel drive, 10 is half-ton, 20 3/4.
So if it was a four-wheel drive, it'd be a K10?
Correct.
Okay, so just like the newer trucks where it's a K1500 if it's four-wheel drive?
Yep, and then a K5 is a Blazer, whether it's two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. Don't ask me why they did that.
Ah, okay. Well, that's fun.
And then you get to the 87 and newer, they kept the same body style, or 88 and newer, they kept the same body style for 1-tons and Suburbans, and I believe they called them R's for a two-wheel drive and V for a four-wheel drive. It's more GM worthless knowledge for you.
Okay, well, that's good. What about the engine? Is there any way at a glance to know if it's a 305 or a 350?
No.
No, you have to either scratch off the casting numbers on the back of the block or on the front of the block where it's stamped is usually the best thing to do, right above the water pump by the passenger side head. You can clean that off, and there's like a 3-digit code, and that'll tell you what exactly that engine is, what it came out of, how many horsepower it is. It won't tell you how many bolt main cabs you have, but it'll tell you everything else. And got the VIN number on that casting if you want to have a numbers matching Chevrolet Silverado.
Okay, well, lucky for us, the federal government has put a sticker on the front for the emissions that tells us it's got a 305, so
We know that.
Yeah. Is it a 4-barrel?
yes.
81 is the last year you can get a 305 with a 2-barrel. Here, more useless information.
Really? Okay.
And I presume it's a turbo 350 3-speed and not a 700 R4 overdrive 4-speed.
I'm
You
gonna.
don't know.
I'm gonna pretend like I know the answer. Pretty sure it's a 350.
Yeah, I'm guessing being a Scottsdale with, without any options like that, it's probably just a 3-speed turbo 350.
Now, what about the year? Is there any way to know that at a glance?
81 and 82 have the park lights in the bumper. That's the only year that they had that. Otherwise, every other year doesn't have that. So that's the dead giveaway on 81s and 82s. 80 was the first year of the square headlights, just a single square headlight. And then in 81 and 82, you could have, there's probably just a single square headlight on that one since it's a Scottsdale, but the Silverados have 4 square headlights. And they pretty much carried that all the way up through, I believe, until 85. No, 85 you could still the lower trim package just had the single square headlight, but the Silverados had multiple. And then I think there was a Cheyenne package in there as well. There's a lot of trim packages in there, and I don't know all of those. Like I said, Silverado is always the high-end one, and Custom Deluxe is the low-end one.
Okay, so we've got a tweener.
Yep, you got mid-range. And basically all that got you was, like you said, the headlight, the trim package. You might get, rubber floor mat, carpet, power windows, cloth seat, depending on what you got. Oh, 82 also, you could get, every bumper was chrome. 81, you could get painted bumper or a chrome bumper, depending on what you ordered as well. 81 was the first year where the marker lights are horizontal in the front bumper. 80 on down, they're vertical on the front. So the same bumper fits, or same fender fits from 73 to 80, and then 81 through 87, 88 to 91 if you got a Suburban or a 1-ton.
Now, do all these square bodies have dual fuel tanks?
No, they do not.
Okay.
81 on up, the single tank would be on the driver's side.
Okay.
And 80 up on a single tank would be on the passenger side.
Okay, and then are the tanks always outside the frame rail?
I believe so, yes, hence the GM.
Yeah, that was a big problem for him, right?
It was, you can put a whole 81 front clip on a 79 on down basically, but I'm not going to stand, but somebody's going to correct me, like, no, you got to have the right wiper motor or something.
Oh, yeah, don't worry. The YouTube comment section is the last haven for pedantic a-holes. So we can do the best we can. It still won't be good enough. All right, sir.
Yeah, and I think the 81 on up, they changed the dash pads a little bit. They changed the steering column slightly. So like wire harnesses, you can't use a 73 wire harness in an 85. Just little piddly stuff like that. But otherwise, most of that stuff interchanges. The door panels are a little bit different from like 73 to 76, and then 77 to 70, or 77 to 80. Stuff like that. There's a lot of little itty bitty quirks in there that only the professionals are going to comment down below about.
Well, that's us, professionals. All right, sir. That's the minutia that we needed.
All right.
We thank you.
Yep. You're very welcome.
All right. All right, guys. Check out Mortsky Repair on YouTube. I'll put a link here or somewhere. He's a good dude. Knows a lot about square bodies. Thanks for watching.